I think I got you there. I'm going to do a little bit of quick housekeeping because lighting is bad on this side and it's stressing me out a little bit. Um, all right. If we have anything falling, you'll know it's the camera's falling, but it's okay. All right. Pause due to poor connection. Instagram, we are working. You working me out tonight. All right. All right. It's never this crazy, but hey, we're gonna go with it. Uh, all right. Y'all, this is like seriously, I'm gonna close out it. This is making me have a serious hot flash right now. Okay. But it's okay. But I'm pumped. Whew, yes. Ooh, child, haven't had one of these in a quick second. So that's a midlife moment right there. Okay, so thank you so much. Done. I'm discarding that one. And let's see if we can get Instagram back because our other guests may be on Instagram. And I just want to make sure that don't know what's happening with Instagram. All right. So Diggity, just give me one quick second. Let me just see if I can get this tightened up.
Take your time.
All right. All right. I see what was going on there. Okay. There was another call on there. Let's see. Ooh, child, I am seriously melting. Okay. Woo. Yes, we are having a moment here. We're having a midlife moment. My technology got crazy on me and I just had a mini moment. But that's okay. It is what it is and it ain't what it ain't. So today what I'm doing is I'm really kind of going bold here for a second because Lord, I haven't had this. Yikes. I'm gonna come off of here. Okay. Tonight I'm with my friend Diggity, the body doctor. And Diggity, why don't you introduce yourself? I think my friend Kevin may have blown me off. I know Lady Garland should be coming through. I'm going to send her a quick text. Dig, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is that you do, and and then we'll get started.
Yes. Well, good evening. Happy hump day. I think it's just so interesting that we're doing Toy Talk after dark on hump day.
Ah,
Um it just
absolutely.
tickles me. It just tickles me.
Very well planned, by the way.
Okay, I'm here for it. But what's up, everybody? My name is Diggity, Diggity the Body Doctor. I'm a health and wellness coach. I help busy girl bosses with chronic illnesses eliminate medication and lose 30 pounds in 90 days or less. I'm all
Diggity, I can't hear
about.
you real well.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you real well. Let me turn my side up.
Is it me? Can you hear me?
I hear you better now. Yes.
Okay. Yes, I'm a health and wellness coach, health and fitness coach. I help girl bosses eliminate medication and lose 30 pounds in 90 days or less. I'm all things health and wellness, all things prosperity, and increasing your quality of life. I'm just excited to be here because I am a novice when it comes to the toys. So I'm just excited to where this conversation is going to go.
Well, this is going to be a great day because any time that I'm spending time with you is a great time. Absolutely. Let's do this. I think I have a side by side, which is great for now until the other folks arrive if they arrive. Well, Diggity, I will share with you. I don't know if you caught last week. Last week we were talking about when was the right time to get discard toys. So starting with that, I will kind of, I guess folks know I've had toys in my life for a while. In fact, I bought my sister her very first toy when she moved into her apartment. So I'm an equal opportunity toy dispenser. Dispensaries, which makes sense. I guess this was in the offing for a while. And for me, I can't even remember when I got my first toy. Um, I know it wasn't in college. I think it was out of college, and it was between boyfriends. I think, and for me, it became a thing of there was an itch that needed to be scratched, and I wasn't really dating anyone at the time, and so that was a fill-in. And I wonder if, hey, if there's anybody else who has that same experience, that toys become a fill-in for you when somebody else is not there on the job, as I like to say. That they will, the toy, as Bob, as my ex used to say, the battery operated boyfriend kind of comes through and handles things. So it becomes, it's a horse of a different color, so to speak. um I think it's, I found it, and I'm just, as you know, I'm me. We're going to have the same kind of conversation as if we were kind of sitting or talking on the phone. Diggity and I are friends because we were in a mastermind with someone, and we kind of connected. He also used to do some work for this person. And at the very onset, I was like, oh my God, I love your energy. You have such amazing energy. And I don't, do you remember that? I was like,
Yes,
I love your energy. And so
likewise.
I was like, you're so positive. I love it. So we kind of clicked, and we became friends, and we read positive affirmation things in the morning and things of that nature. So with that said, we're just gonna talk like it's you and I talking on the phone. I find it very interesting that that has not been a choice that you have made in ever.
And ever. But it's like I kind of fantasize like now that like we're talking, like I do have fantasies. I just never like acted on them. Do you
But
know what I mean?
yeah, Dick, I can see fantasizing about that person or fantasizing about a trip. Diggity is quite the adventurer. He does a lot of traveling. He's and big travel too. No, no, not going to Miami type of thing. He's doing big travel. Um, but I'm so surprised because for, I'll save that part for another live. Um, but I think around the time that I decided to buy a toy, oh, I lie. The first time I was ever exposed to a toy was when a boyfriend introduced the toy into our lovemaking. And it was like he had me blindfolded, and all of a sudden I heard this. I was like, what's going on? What's going on out there? What's happening? And it was a thing. It was a thing. And I was like, he's like, just trust me. And in that situation, it was like a couple of different things happening. It was like the trust as well as the excitement of the new partner in the lovemaking. So of all the people you've dated, no one has ever said, hey, this is a something else, or you've never said, hey, I'm here, I'm by myself, or I'm off the dating scene, and you've never been kind of intrigued to say, hey.
No, they all have been boring. I'm the one that's like, let's at least like, role play or like, what I mean? Like, let's get
Dress up
like,
or anything.
yes, I'm normally the one that like wants to do like freaky stuff. They're normally like not like even like
More vanilla, less sprinkles.
yeah,
Vanilla, no
yeah.
sprinkles. That's
So
what I like to call it.
yeah, so
All right.
but I guess it does make sense. Like, yeah, like somebody who's already exposed to it would introduce you to it, but
Mhm.
that's not been the case for me.
Okay. So let me ask you this. In terms of toys and your thoughts about toys, and what would you think that you would need or want in if you were going out, like, and I'll tell, and I'll share that I'm leading into this, what I do now, because there are people who have never, hey John, how are you, because there are people who've never had toys before. What I do, and I hope everyone is enjoying an adult beverage right now as we kind of go into the conversation. um,
I almost said,
there you go. One of the things that I like to think in terms of is, if what is it that you need? I do a consultation as people come to buy, like what we're having conversation now. So, well, what is it that you want? What are some of the things that you would like to have in a toy? If it's a battery operated boyfriend, what is it that you want? Do you want something that's softer, that's more lush, that's more luxurious? Do you want something that is has no temperature? Do you want something that's glass, something that's metal? What exactly is it that you want?
I love this question. So I definitely would appreciate. I guess you would a partner replacement. I think for men the flashlight is that
Uh-huh.
that
Flashlight is definitely something.
and then like could we play with temperature?
Absolutely. You can have things that are responsive to heat and cold. You can have things that are glass. You can have things that are metal. You can have things that are silicone. So, depending upon what you want, is the way in the direction that I would direct us or
Okay,
direct you.
okay. Yeah, yeah. I would definitely like to play around with that hot and cold vibe.
Okay.
Um, I definitely I was looking like I want some of the leather and the metal. Like I want to dress up. Like
Okay. All right.
I def
That's cool. In fact,
I def
let me do this. Let me take some notes. Okay. So you
I,
want something that has temperature, ability to have hot and cold responsiveness. Is that
oh, what about a swing? I would love a swing. Like I
okay?
imagine in my bedroom, in my master bedroom. Oh my God, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely a swing.
Swing. So
Absolutely a swing.
swing from the door or swing that's suspended from the ceiling. Are we talking?
Suspended from the ceiling.
All right, ceiling.
Oh,
That's
and what about, I don't even know if this is a sex tour or not, but when I was touring, one of the actresses, she was actually a stripper,
okay.
and she brought a portable pole, and we would like swing. She would like literally set it. I don't know if is that considered a toy?
That is a toy. Well,
Okay.
there because remember there are certain things. Some things are toys, and some things are tools, and some things are both. So, with that in mind, and I always kind of break it into this sense. A toy is something that we're going to play with. Its only purpose is to pleasure. If something is a tool, is has a function that is going to help you to either help you with arousal, help you with erection, help you with stimulation. Those are things that I describe as tools. So, with a swing, I would say I would classify that as more as something of a toy because it's something we're going to play with. It's not something that directly will give you pleasure or stimulation or help you to get something. It's more
Mm.
something that we're going to play with to maybe create a mood or create a set of vibe or something like that.
I mean, I think for me, like, I think it will be a great tool too because I feel like it would help me get into certain positions. You know what I mean? Like, it would help with flexibility and mobility.
Now, there are certain stools and benches that I have that help with that kind of thing. So, if it's a thing of, like, say, for example, for some of my folks who are more midlife, if you are having problems like, I wish I had brought it. There's something that I have that helps you a harness you kind of put around your neck and you put around your legs, and it holds your legs up. Then I have a bench that kind of allows you to either recline into it to keep your legs up or to bend over it so that you're in more of a kind of a doggy position, and then that way you can do that comfortably. And then there are also pillows and things of that nature.
Oh, wow.
So that's when I say sometimes a toy is a tool and sometimes a tool is a toy. So it depends upon what you need. Hey, how are you doing? Thanks for joining us. Tonight we're talking about Toy Talk After Dark, and we're talking about toys. We're talking about what makes a good toy, what makes a bad toy, and what is it that you need from a toy to make it work for you in the relationships that you're in or in your endeavor of autoeroticism. Because after all, this is National Masturbation Month. Okay.
I'm
So
here for it.
absolutely. I've totally scared him off.
Yeah,
So
so that
anyway,
sounds like it's more in my vibe and my lane. I didn't know there were stools and
oh, absolutely.
that sounds like more my vibe.
Absolutely. So that falls into the kind of the accessory lane. So when I talk about tools and accessories, I'm thinking in terms of somebody sent a okay, somebody sent me another message. Um, I'm thinking in terms of things that for accessibility. A lot of times these types of tools and things come up when you're dealing with people who are disabled or have some kind of disability. That was the first thought I had. But for somebody who says, you know what, I want to get into a little bit more of a gymnastic kind of pose, or I want to do something a little more exotic, Those are things, tools that would work in that instance as well. So there are tools that help with mobility, there are tools that help with agility, there are tools that help with positioning. So depending upon what you need, if you are somebody who has arthritis, or you are somebody who has back issues, or somebody who's even quadriplegic or paraplegic, you need to get into it. So the tools are not just for people who are in their 20s, some of these, acrobatic kinds of stuff. And it's not, everything is relative. It's not just acrobatic when you're in your 20s. It's a different kind of, I need to get here, I need to get this up here and that there. So that's the way that. So, and it's not a bad thing. The one thing I have learned about being in this space is that I do not judge. Because if I spilled all the tea about what I've done, what I've seen, what I've heard, and what I know, it would be a whole different conversation. It would be a whole
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
All right. So far, you're telling me you want something. If you were kind of making a wish list or a shopping list, toys that you would want. You're on plural, so you want something
Oh,
that.
and here's another thing, definitely a flashlight also too, and I'll tell you why.
Go ahead. Fleshlight is not, just as you know, fleshlight is not the only possible option with something like that.
Because I've also seen they have those like fake butts and
Okay,
like with
absolutely. Yep.
the fake
You have
butt.
with the
Yeah,
torso. You can do
yeah,
a
with the torso.
or you can do torso, you can do waist, or you can do full body, or you can
Mm.
do legs overhead
So
like
let
that.
me tell you why. I think for me it's a twofold. And let me ask you also too, like when you have a partner, I'm not too privy to this, especially when you have a partner in the same sex, and let's say, two males.
Okay.
Do you get two different flashlights? Right?
You
Like he has
can.
his
There is something that I'll show you that I had. There are two different things. You can get two different fleshlights. You can get a stroker and something that penetrates. You can get something that
Oh,
is,
you want to know another toy that just came to the top of my mind
what's
that
that?
I've a vibrating cock ring.
Absolutely. And that was the next thing I was going to say. You can have two of those. So both of you can pleasure each other in different terms with the vibrating cock ring,
Mm.
or performance rings, as it were. So there are different flavors of performance rings. You can have a performance ring that is just that, to help with erection and maintaining the erection. You can have a performance ring that is just for stamina, to help with your endurance. You can have one that is for vibration, for stimulation for both partners. So it really depends upon what you're looking for and how you want to use that. So if you want something, you can use it alone as well. So a vibrating, I don't have anything. I didn't bring any toys with me tonight, which is odd. I usually do. You can have something that is for you for autoeroticism. So if you want to have, you have an amazing lube, and you have this going, so it's sitting resting on your testicles. So it does that, and then you can masturbate that way. Or you can have
Mm.
it with a partner, so that depending upon whatever position you're in, you get the pleasure on your scrotum, and then he gets the pleasure, depending upon how far it drops down, on his scrotum as well.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it depends upon how you set it up. You have those that don't do any kind of vibrating anything, and they're just purely for the function. It then becomes a tool. It's not necessarily a toy that's giving pleasure with that. You understand how, Natty Sue, I
Okay.
a toy is a tool and a tool is a toy. When you're lucky, you get them so that they're doing both things.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that's definitely
All right. So
uh,
now I was talking to you about, it's not just the fleshlight. There are different kind of versions of it. You can have it with lips. You can have it with what
oh
looks
wow.
like an anus. You can have it with what it looks like as a vagina.
Oh
So
wow.
depending upon what it is that you want, one of the folks who was a guest, who's supposed to be a guest, was saying that he is bisexual. I would kind of flavor it as bisexual because he is in a same-sex relationship, but he does have toys that emulate the appendages of women. So I
Period.
was like, wow, that's really interesting. I never really thought about that. But that That's a thing. I said, a toy's a toy. I mean, you think about it. When you have people or kids or women who play with toys, if a little girl plays with the GI Joe, people don't really say anything. You know, she's just playing with the toys. That toy is a toy for her pleasure and enjoyment. So depending upon what it is that you need for your pleasure, enjoyment, or for that particular tool, that's what I wanted to talk to you about with the fleshlight. So you have a number of different variations, and there's also something. Let me see if I can pull it up for you.
And let me tell you my
Go ahead.
reason for, or my need, or my use, I guess.
Yeah,
How I
your
will
need.
use
What
it.
do you need and want?
Well, so for like definitely for solo play, but also I am somebody who like, okay, I don't mind doing oral, but we got really about like 3 to 5 minutes and then I'm done. And so it's like it's like
You sound like some chicks, man. It's like, oh no, that's not what's gonna happen here today.
we got 3 to 5 good minutes and then I'm done. And some
You're
people,
done or he's done.
I'm done. Like I'm done. Like we're not gonna sit all day and I'm just doing oral. Like that's not the type of party we're having. So like it's like okay. So then I resort to hand and spit. And so
Okay. All
I'm
right.
like, okay, maybe we can incorporate a toy. Maybe we can get some type of fleshlight or whatever. Pop her right in. She can take over. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay. All right. So one of the things that I'm going to do is you really are going to make me go to this list. Give me one quick second because I'm going to answer your question real quickly. Let me see. Let me come over here. I know Fran John put this together, but I'm just going to come here. Um, Give me one second.
Because
I
these
want to
niggas be
share.
wanting you to be doing that oral for way too long. And I don't got time for that.
You like
And
you
then also too, like this. I don't know if this is too TMI, but sometimes my
know.
jaw be locking up, and I'm like, okay, we.
And that's a real thing. That's a very real thing.
Like we don't
Um,
got time for that.
you're like, actually, I do have something for that. There's something for that. So hold on a second. Let me show you a couple of the things that I pulled together on. I'm going to share my screen. Uh, yeah, I know it's easier with two monitors. Okay. All right. So here, share. I'm going to close this over.
Ooh,
All right. So can you see it all?
I
Or is
can.
it just that? Hold on a second. Let me put this here. Give me one second. Today is so super messy. Guys, I am so sorry that it's like crazy. For those of you who can't see what I'm doing, is I'm showing digging some of the things that are good options. So this is one of the things that I was telling you about that, oopsie, go back. That's utilitarian. Okay. This is more, I want to get this not too advanced. So this one has the performance ring is unique in that it gives you the ability to kind of Jesus put it on the way you want to put it on. So it's not real tight. It's not the traditional way that you have a regular performance ring. This
Mhm.
is for two women, same-sex women. This is one of the devices that I was telling you about for good for solo play if you want that. Okay.
Mm.
The next thing that one instead of a fleshlight. This is an interesting piece because this gives you the ability to have solo play as well as giving you the ability to use it vaginally or anally. So it's
Oh
good
wow.
either way. So if you wanted to slap that end, oopsie, you wanted to slap that end right here. Ooh, Lord, this is going fast today. If you wanted to slap this end here on onto the back of the shower wall or on the floor, whatever you
Oh
want,
wow.
you
Okay.
use that suction that way. The
I've
next,
never even tried. I mean, and I those would probably be good to like prep. You feel what I'm saying?
uh-huh. No,
But
no,
I never.
yeah, but you notice how up here this has, oh Lord, this has vibrating balls. The balls
Oh
are undulating and
wow.
they move, so you have a feeling. This is for folks, for my transgender folks. So this gives you that kind of feel. Oh my God. Hold on a second. What is happening to my presentation? What happened? What do we do, French?
It won't let you go by yourself.
Let me see. It should. Uh, Let me come out here more. Pause autoplay. There we go. Uh, There we go. All right. So this, it gives you, as it says, endless vaginal and anal stimulation. It has a flexible shaft, and then you can whatever body part you want to go with, and it moves and it has the vibrating. You sense everything with that. This is for folks who are transgender. It's kind of called the nymph, and it gives you that kind of feeling. So if you, depending upon where you are in terms of your transgender journey, it's going to give you the stimulation that you need. Um, the next thing, this is my one of my favorites. It's a rubber duck. It's amazing. I love this duck. It feels great. It gives you the suction. This is more for women than for men, unless you want that kind of nipple stimulation, that type of thing.
Mm.
Um, this is I've started to kind of in the Love for All collection. I probably didn't stop to explain this. This is for people who are handy capable, meaning that you may not have the capacity to do the gripping and to hold consistently like you used to, but this allows you to kind of curve your hand and then put that particular device where you need it to stimulate. This diggity is what I was talking about. Is the vibrating, the dual vibrating C rings, performance rings, C rings, performance ring, depending what you want to call it. This gives both partners the stimulation and the sensation that you want. You can put them both on, or one person can put it on at a time, and you can have whatever measure of stimulation or fun, however you want. Okay. Now this device here, if your jaw is getting getting locked up, you've got locked jaw, and you just don't feel like going to the end of the road, this is a way for you to finish that person off. Okay.
Period.
Yes. My girl.
We'll definitely have a name and everything.
Absolutely. This is another performance ring. This, remember, I said, depending upon where you are and how you wear it, the top portion, as you notice here in this top portion, this is where your penis goes in. And then down here, this part, oopsie.
Oh, it
This
holds the sack.
vibrates. Exactly.
Oh, wow.
And you notice over on this side, this is going to be here. So this gives you the amount of stimulation that you want. You can turn it up, or you can have it a little bit lower down so that you can have sense the vibration. There are several different patterns, roughly 10 different patterns that you can enjoy with that. So it depends upon you.
Wow.
Thing
That
is,
sounds more my style.
this is more of a single digit thing. So if you want to, you can use it. Women can use it as well as men can use it. So it's not really exclusive to any one person or one gender. This one is a really good one because you can kind of get yourself to a point and then just kind of fall asleep. This is, as always with every toy, it's a cleaner. Every single toy needs to have a cleaner wherever you, I don't care who you buy from, you need to have a cleaner to keep your toys clean, to keep them sanitized, to keep the bacteria off of your toys. That's not a good look. The next thing is, you were talking about what could make it juicier or easier. This is something called Handy Pop. I highly recommend it. It has a yummy taste. It's an edible hand job massage gel. So with
Ooh, can you incorporate CBD?
yes, you can. It's not in this particular product, but you can have CBD, and there are some products that do have CBD in them.
I would
Yes.
love that. I would love to
Yes.
explore that.
Let me see what else I got. This is by Buck Angel. Buck Angel is he's a trans man, and he's working with the company that I love. This company is called Sliquid, and this is his personal lubricant. And this is an amazing lubricant he's designed for folks who are transgender, but mainly transgender men. So you have that moisture and that lubrication that you normally would not create or have naturally if you're now taking estrogen. This is Diggity. This is for you too. This is it's almost like you channeled me what you needed. This is called Thicklicious. It's a throat coating oral delight cream, and it kind of numb the throat and keep your mouth slickery as well.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I definitely need that.
Okay.
Put that in my cart.
Okay. This is called Sliquid. I love Sliquid. I had two clients that their orders got sent, the postal ladies sent the wrong packages. Sliquid is an organic product, and I put this in the Love for All collection because if you have cancer or cancer adjacent, and what I mean by cancer adjacent is if you've had cancer, someone in your family's had cancer, or your husband has had cancer, and you don't want to have any products that have any kind of words or things in them that you cannot pronounce, this would be a good option. It's like somebody said, oh, this has too many things in there, probably too many chemicals. I said, okay, I can rock with that. I also have a Sliquid formulation that is organic as well. So it really makes a big difference. This is something that I'm jumping into now with pheromones. Pheromones are amazing, amazing. Pheromones allow you to that I someone I dated one time had this product, and I'd see the bottle and he put it on, just rub it on and roll it on. I was like, what is that? What is that? And he said, oh, nothing. It's just something, a little something I throw on. And honest to God, I could not keep my hands off of him. It was just like, I just wanted to like eat him for lunch.
And don't we give off our own pheromones already?
We do. But as your body chemistry changes, the pheromones that you're kicking off in your 20s are going to be different than the way your pheromones kick off in your 30s and when you get into your 40s. It's going to change. So what this does is this will heighten your pheromones. It kind of gives them a little bit of a boost.
Okay, so something in college, they would be like, okay, if you like want to go to the club and you want to like go, make sure you go home with somebody, make sure you jerk off before you.
That's an interesting way because probably you will exude pheromones as a byproduct of having been satisfied. Your endorphins will also have been lifted, and I think it's oxytocin that's also been released. So your body is really kind of in a different state. But I have to research that though. One of the things that I do want to share is that Love for All is for everybody who is in a category. Either you're a sexy senior, either you're a someone who's in the LGBTQ community, A plus I. Let me not leave everybody out. Or you're handy capable. Those are the folks who Love for All is for. We have a collection of toys, tools, ties, lubes, and lingerie, as you can just saw right there. Diggity, I'm going to come out of sharing, and I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to stop sharing and come back to you. Where's my StreamYard? Here I am. Okay. So now, with what you saw, this as someone who's kind of a newbie, showed you a couple of things, and I didn't even show you things like the prostate stimulators or things like that.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that.
Absolutely. And you know what? I've been saying this and yelling from the rooftops that prostate stimulation is so crazy important. And a lot of people have said to me, I've had some very intense conversations with a lot of men who, and unfortunately a lot of men who are straight, who've said, oh, no, that's not necessary. That's scary. Like, oh, that's scary. That's not.
But behind closed doors, they're really asking their partners to get a dildo, and
I believe it because, and I think I literally had a very strong, what was almost an argument with a friend who says, I believe in prostate, being healthy and everything like that. But the one thing we're not going to do is put anything in my behind. I said, you know what? I said, you can die being that guy, or you can live a long, healthy life to see your grandchildren. So that's pretty much what one of the conversations that I'd like to have a little bit later on. And next week, I'm hoping that next week, we're going to be talking about erectile dysfunction. We're going to take that topic head on. Yes, that pun was intended. And we're going to have a couple of different guests. Next week, we'll have a urologist, Dr. Ann. We'll have my friend and the owner of the Firm Tech Performance Ring, which really is kind of um, taking the snot, kicking the snot out of ED for a lot of men. And basically, by that performance ring, which was the first thing that I showed you, it's really giving them another opportunity to have an erection, maintain an erection without having a lot of medications, without a lot of injections and things of that nature.
Oh, I've got to ask you something, and I
Go
don't know if
ahead.
this.
Ask me whatever you want. We got
Hopefully
time.
this is appropriate. Hopefully this is appropriate.
Everything's
But however,
appropriate.
since we are, we're moving into Pride Month, you did mention we're in the Love for All collection, and it's like a lot of these, special communities that we want to recognize.
Mhm.
Now, I in the LGBTQ, especially within the gay community,
Uh-huh.
they're very big on poppers. Now, is that I've never done it before, but I'm curious where that lies.
Now, see, I wish Kevin were here because he can speak to that. I do not know what a popper is.
And
What
I'm
is
too
popper?
ignorant to it. It's like, I think it's a I don't know. I know
Go
it's a
ahead.
drug. I know
Okay,
it's a drug.
okay.
I don't know if it's like, I don't know like what world we're in, right? Like, I don't know if we're in like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what
Uh-huh.
world.
Is it like so you're saying I don't know if it falls into like a
I thought it was illegal, but I was just on the apps and I was talking to a guy about them, and he said that they have them at the sex store here. So I'm like, well, then it has to be legal.
hmm,
But I
yeah.
thought I don't know if I thought or if I was told it was illegal. I don't know, but so apparently, like, it helps you go. It also helps you
Hopefully the
relax,
erection, probably.
and it helps the bottom relax.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. Interesting. I have to check on that. Hey JA, how are you? JA ran out. Poppers. You'll have to check on that.
But
What
it's
are poppers
huge in our
and
community.
huge?
Huge. I mean,
Okay.
like, they always do them.
So let me ask you this: in terms of the LGBTQ community, how my expertise is dealing with toys, and in terms of stimulants, we do kind of deal with, I have things that are CBD types of things, but not poppers. And I'm interested in where that falls. So I definitely will speak to a few people about what maybe some of the folks who joined. What is, hey, poppers? Tanya, how are you? We're talking about
Hey, Kinghorn.
yeah. We're talking about different things. And what's interesting to me about this, and I'm going to kind of take this in a little bit of a different direction. A lot of times when we're in intimate relationships or intimate circumstances, sometimes in order to get to a point where you're comfortable to do what it is that you think you want to do or you may want to do, it requires or something else. And I'll use myself as an example. The very first time I ever went to a swing club with my boyfriend, I said, I just want to watch, I just want to see what it's about. Okay, so he says, okay, good. He says, okay, cool. And I said, okay. When we walked in the door, I was like, I don't think I can walk in there. I don't think I can go in there. And he said, well, you said you wanted to go and have this experience. I said, yes, I did. However, there was a part of me that did not want that. And this is something, by the way, this is a quick commercial. I'll be starting a podcast next week. Okay. And the podcast is going to be Midlife Must. And we're going to be talking about the things that you must do, know, have, and experience before you get into midlife or as you are in midlife. And that was one of the things that I said I wanted to get off of my bucket list, and I wanted to see what that was about. And it was odd. I drank a fifth of Hennessy in 10 minutes because I wasn't comfortable with the choice I was making. So it makes me think about the poppers. Are the poppers a way? And by the way, there's a lube for that. I do have a lube that is an extra thick lube that will allow someone who is a bottom the lube is very padded. Okay.
And I'm so when I'm telling you, I'm so green, and I'm so like, it just tells you like I don't have a lot of sex, like, and it's so interesting because people think I do
But
have
you
sex,
need to
and
have sex. All
I
men need to be having sex because studies are showing the more that men masturbate, the better it is for their prostate gland. And it tends to diminish or reduces the possibility of getting prostate cancer. So if
Wow.
your guy is masturbating, good kudos, whack on. Okay. But get that, you know, get it in, whether with you or without you. Hey, so that's my Soros Tanya. Um, I think that what's really interesting is that lubes, as well as a lot of the things that we can take, as you may or may not know, I do have a CBD line, and in that CBD line, we offer. I have gourmet chocolates. So if you're someone
mm,
who's in a position or in something, a in a relationship and you want to try some different things, the CBD chocolates will be a good thing for you, so that way you can kind of relax, because sometimes we're just kind of keyed up and tensed up, and it doesn't create a good environment for being in that kind of, to be relaxed, to have that kind of amorous feeling. So I highly recommend, if you're someone that's a little bit skittish, a little bit uncomfortable, try something like a CBD chocolate. If you can, try a gummy. You know, I'm a big gummy advocate for sleep, for sex, a whole lot of other things. Gummies really do work. Right, right, right. So if you, in fact, one of the things that I do is whenever people make a purchase, I always throw in a couple of goodies. And if you're interested in making a purchase, the purchase you have, I'm at www.shopwinkblinkflirt.com. As the orders come in, I throw in things like a different kind of lube. I throw in things like a CBD chocolate. I throw in things like a relaxation, a CBD tea. So you get to try things without kind of stepping out and being in this place where it's like, oh my God, what if I don't like it? Don't worry about it. I got you. All right. I think, Dig, if you are looking for certain things, oh, thank you, Yolanda. If you are looking at trying some new things and new toys, Yolanda, I wish you were here because we were talking about different toys. And Diggity, who's on with me on StreamYard, was talking about different toys that have different sensations. And I mentioned to him, I may or may not. I had a client who wanted something that was more was cancer concerned, so they wanted something that was more organic and that did not have a lot of plastic, silicones, and things like that. And that's my client on the other side. And I did the research, as I said, I do the consultation for you. I ask you what it is you need, what it is that you want, what it is that you like. And then what I do is I curate a lookbook for you, kind of like what I just went through with you. And then I show you different things that meet the need. So if you say you wanted a swing, you wanted a fleshlight, you wanted something that had hot and cold reception, I would create a lookbook that would give you that type of experience. So that way you can, and I give you that lookbook so that when you're ready to make a purchase another time, you can come back and say, hey, I remember that thing that was in my lookbook, item number 8 or number A, letter A. I want that now. And that's fine. So those are a couple of things. Hey, Chuck, how are you doing? Yolanda was telling me, was reminding me that she had a Lawand, and the Lawand is smooth on one end and it's ridged on the other end. So
mm,
depending upon the sensation that you want, you can get that. But as you saw, you can have now with the vibrating performance rings, you can get one of those as well. So whether you're with a partner, everything that I have, um, is the things that are for couples are for people who are in long distance relationships. So if you're in a long distance relationship, let's say, for example, you have somebody, you're traveling or you're overseas and your partner is here, there's a vibrating performance ring that you can have on. Or conversely, there is so if you're in a heterosexual relationship, there's also something that the female can put in either as a panty vibe or just have that on just just on. And it also, if it's same sex for two women as well, that exists. The thing I love about that is it gives you the ability to be in California, to be in Lagos, Nigeria. Um, Tanya, you can go to either Clapper or it's on StreamYard. Okay, StreamYard. Go to the let me see. Diggity, can you send Tanya the link
Yes.
to
Sure
join?
can.
Tanya, do you want to join? Or Yolanda, you want to join? Hey, David, how are you? One of the things that you'll find is toys have changed. Toys have changed since possibly the last time. Be it you want to have, whether you're traveling, we have another line that's called Love Away from Home for those people who travel. That's where you'll find a lot of the toys that are remote. If you need something that even if you're not traveling, if you're a man that is not dating and you want something, doesn't even matter what gender, we have it so that you can have that particular toy that emulates the body bottom that you want to have. Hey there. So depending upon what you want and the quality of what you want, I'm able to address that. My products tend to be more along on the higher end because I'm concerned about your safety. So I'm going to skew more towards the higher end type of product. Anybody have a question for me about the product, about how to get products, about the chocolate, about the CBD chocolates that we offer? Anything? I'm here. Questions? The doors the doors to the church are open in terms of questions. This room, just to reset the room, this room is Toy Talks After Dark. I am talking about toys. What makes a good toy? What makes a bad toy? Hey, Lady Garland, how are you? Let me see if I can bring you in. Let's see. I'm going to invite you to join real quickly and invite Nurse Bay up to talk. So what we're talking about, as I was saying, I was resetting the room. This is about Toy Talks After Dark. And this is about toys. What's a good toy? What's a good toy for me may not be a good toy for you. Hey, how you doing? Let me see who else we have. I don't know. I'm real new to Clapper, so I don't know how to invite people into the conversation. Let me see, Yolanda. Let me see. We are friends. Follow back. I don't know how to make this work. I wish I did. Let me see. I think that's going to take me out of here. Okay. All right. I'll get to that. Yolanda, you'll have to teach me how to do that. Let me see. Let me check this. Diggity, you're here. And you're there. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
So,
omnipresent.
good people, here's what I'm talking about tonight. If there's anybody who has had an opportunity to purchase toys, or if there's somebody who travels a lot and you have a girlfriend or wife or a partner that you leave at home, Toy Talk After Dark is the place you come to get that particular type of answers. We have toys that are tools and tools that are toys. If you're a gentleman that struggles with erectile dysfunction, ED, and back in the olden days, I think when my mom was younger, they used to call it impotence, which is not a sexy word. But there are toys that can be used as tools that help people out. Earlier, I was showing some things to folks who may be struggling in that particular area. And these are all things. What I do is I do consultations with men, women, and couples to help them find toys and tools that will help solve some of the challenges that they're having in their sex life. Some of them can be as basic as a swing. It can be as fundamental as a performance ring. It can be something as easy as a lube. Okay. There are different kinds of lubes. A lot of the lubes and things that I offer are either organic or flavored, or their purpose to really help you. One of the things that was asked is, are there any kind of lubes if someone's at bottom? Yes, I do have that as well. No problem. No problem. So, depending upon what you need and what you want is what's going to drive what I'm going to suggest. As I mentioned to Diggity, before you buy, I don't know about you, but I used to be that person that if I went into a store that either adult novelty store, I was like, what does that mean, a novelty? I would want to look around and I would feel like people were watching me because they had all the cameras and things like that. I want to talk to you.
Yeah.
Exactly. I want to talk to you from the comfort of your home. I want you to be as authentic as the conversation that Diggity and I had. I want to know what it is that you need, that you're looking for, that's going to enhance or make your love life better with your partner. Okay.
I
So
want like an experience. Like I need to feel like we're like, an experience theatrical for me. Like
you felt that it was theatrical?
yeah, I want a theatrical experience is what I'm
You
trying to
want a
communicate.
theatrical experience. Well, one of the things that I really pride myself on is I want to hear what you need, because there's nothing worse than getting a toy or getting something that you think is going to help. I had last week, I had all the different things that I had purchased and needed to go in the garbage. Um, I'm not going to have you have a drawer or a box full of toys that have no value or no use for you any longer. What I want you to do is I want you to have something. Toys now have a lifespan of anywhere from 3 to 5 years. You don't want to have a toy that you're holding for that long. However, you do want to have a toy that is going to give you pleasure for that long. So there are different lines that do different things. Dame is a product line that was created by women for women. You have Gender X, that is for people in the LGBTQA plus I community. Those toys meet the needs of people who are in there. You have things, Sensuva is a line that I like because it is 100% natural. You also have another product line called Sliquid, which I love because their products are very organic. My feeling is we take in a lot of environmental things. Why add more to it and have a whole lot of other things putting it inside of you? So I'm very sensitive to that. So the some of the things may be a little bit pricier, but they last longer and they're healthier for your body, because I'm not going to be the one that goes, oh, oops, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize it was going to kill you. That's not going to be me.
All right.
I'm not trying to explain that in court or to your family. Um, my guy says that she's not sure about me having toys because I might like them better than him. What would you say to someone like that? Well, that's an interesting question. The very first show that we did was toys over boys. And there's never ever going to be anything that replaces the touch of a person. A touch, and it's like my friend used to say to me, I would think that you would want a touch that's warm, that's responsive, more than a toy that you have to manipulate. The palm device that comes from Dame, you can move it, you can twist it, but it's not the same as when your partner cups your breast or cups your scrotum or massages your penis or massages your breast or kisses your neck. It's not going to be the same. A toy can give you pleasure, but toys, one of the shows that I'm doing a little bit later on in the summer is when toys go wrong. Toys can go wrong. Trust me. I'm a witness. Okay. But that's not going to happen unless he's taking an inordinate amount of Viagra and then he gets stuck. I mean, but things like that, a man is never going to get tied in you like a dog ties. That's just not going to happen. Thank you so much, Ronald. I think that we'll never, the same way a massager or a fleshlight is never going to replace the mouth of a woman on a man's penis. It's never going to ever, a man's touch is never going to be replaced by a vibrator or a bullet or a wand. Now, one of the things I will say is that you can desensitize yourself to a greater or lesser degree with too much stimulation from a wand, but that aside, you're not going to have a lot of those kinds of challenges. You're welcome, love. I wish you were here joining us. Well, our time is now 10:31. Does anybody Thank you so much. Yes, exactly true. Exactly true. Does anybody else have any other questions or any other thoughts that they'd like to share before we sign off? This is not a forever live. I will be back next week. Next week we'll be talking about ED. We'll have a couple of guests on, a urologist, the founder and the one of the creators of the Firm Tech device, as well as a sexologist. And how does the long distance toy work? Okay. The long distance toy, I don't have any with me tonight. The long distance toy works that you put the if it's your guy, he puts the performance ring on him. Yes, and I will also be on your show tomorrow. He puts on the performance ring. You put it's like I like to say, it's more energized and animated phone sex. Okay. Whereas phone sex, he says, all right, we'll put your hand here. And oh my God, I can't believe I left this out. Some of the toys that I have that are long distance toys also have the cam view, so you can see each
Oh
other.
wow.
And it's really, and he controls the device. So if it's same-sex partners, that your guy is in Winnetka, Illinois, and you're in Brooklyn, he's controlling. You guys are laying in bed or whatever, and he says, let me see this, blah, 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 bend over, let me see this and that. He's controlling the device. You can walk around with
Wow.
it on, and you can be in Wegmans or in
Not
Whole
Wegmans.
and he turns it on and you're like, yes, I'll have more grapes. Okay.
Not Wegmans.
So that is how that is absolutely going to work for you. If you have what's another one that I have, there are some that are up close remote devices. So if somebody is in the kitchen and they're making the spaghetti for dinner and he turns it on and he's like, oh, okay, too much garlic. You're like, okay, no more garlic. Okay. So that would be how that would work. But as I was saying, thank you for that question, Lady Garland, as well as Yolanda. Better fasting. I next week we start to pivot into becoming a podcast. I'm scared sighted, as I like to say. But I'm going to be running this through Clapper next week as well. We'll still be on StreamYard and we'll be on YouTube, as well as I think I'll try and pull in Clubhouse for real next week. I'm really looking forward to growing this out with you guys. If you have questions or something you want to know about, some of the topics we've covered, for those of you on Clapper, we've talked about. DJ had said something about, like, he had heard that if you like rub one out before you go out, your pheromones go up and you're a little bit more chill. We talked about toys and teens. We talked about what happened. Toys, for the appropriate toys are the best toys for people over 50. One of the things that I'm going to be doing in the next month is I want you to shout out your favorite toy. I want to know what's good. I've used a lot of toys, but I want to know what you think. What's your favorite toy? What are you saying is the bomb diggity toy that I must stock? I am a Black owned and run pleasure enhancement toy company. Okay. I do well when you feel well. Okay. Your pleasure is my pleasure. So let me know what it is. If you go out to our site, which is www.shopwinkblinkflirt.com, and you're in the pleasure collection and there's something that you don't see, let me know. Let me know. Go to Instagram at Wink Blink Flirt and say, hey, I'm looking for this. We do a consultation and I find what it is that you want. And I give you a lookbook that meets your needs. Well, our time is now 10:36. As promised, as Wink Blink Flirt, it's time for me to pull the plug. Diggity, I thank you so much for being here. If you are interested, I will put together, we can really do this in real life, and I will put together your lookbook so you can have what you want. Yolanda, thank you so much for joining me on Clapper. Lady Garland, thank you so much. And Tanya, thank you so much for and Nurse Bay, thank you so much for joining me on Instagram. Guys, you are amazing. I appreciate you all. As I always say, if you're not going to be good at it. Take care, you guys. I will speak
Thank
to you
you.
later.
Thank
Don't go
you.
away. Don't go.